Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. No like huge reveals this morning, but actually some stuff that I'm sure some people just weren't 100% on, and the fact that it is confirmed here actually could be really big for quite a few players here. So we'll go over some of the small stuff revealed today. Starting off here, new normal monster. This is called Ignihorse Dragonith. I have no idea where this will come for us. It's just a new vanilla monster. It's nothing crazy, but I guess theoretically with the new like primordial engine, I guess we need to maybe just be a little more cognizant of when we see a new vanilla monster. It's nothing crazy though. He is a level 7 fire sea serpent normal monster, and he has the monarch stats, or the small monarch stats. 24 attack, 1000 defense. That's it. Nothing too crazy on him, but the bigger reveals for today are these. We get some of the TCG confirmed translation names for some of the cards coming in Infinite Forbidden, but not only that, but we do get a couple cards confirmed that we otherwise did not have just yet. So the first one here is Dragon of Pride and Soul. I don't remember this card actually being like confirmed from the original part of Infinite Forbidden. It may be, but when I saw this morning, I was like, "That whoa, this is not helping. This picture." There we go. This guy here, I just literally didn't remember him from the original part of the set. He's nothing crazy. He's just a dragon that like buffs himself. And his summoning condition is not super easy. I wouldn't worry too much about him specifically. The bigger ones though rely in this picture. Okay. So we can actually scroll this over. So these cards, whatever, just translations there. But these back two on the end here, actually pretty important. Spell card Monster Reborn. This was a TCG exclusive, or actually I think, was it a V-Jump promo? It's either a V-Jump promo or some other kind of promo they got. Cool card. Like honestly, it's just not a terrible card at all. It's kind of like a quick effect Monster Reborn from either graveyard, which is kind of nasty a little bit because obviously you can pull from either player's graveyard. That means in certain mirror matches, taking specific cards that you can just use as material for your stuff is actually quite strong. And I also think in a format where maybe like Fiendsmith is running around like crazy, you're gonna be running up against a lot of other decks that do just play the Fiendsmith stuff, which means being able to like reborn, like this card being able to, and Monster Reborn does this too, but it's only a one of. But being able to just special summon any light fiend from your opponent's graveyard, and then just immediately go into like one card Fiendsmith engine is actually like pretty good. So I think there's definitely some utility here. Worst case scenario, if you're just playing a generic Link deck, this does just get you an extra body to keep going with. So this card is actually pretty cool. I actually could see a world where like if you play a deck that can kind of just make good use of just like generic bodies, any just body on your field really helps. This card could be really nice, and adding the utility of that this is a quick play. So even if it's not even that good going first as an extender, you set it and it's kind of like a Called by the Grave. Like when your opponent does anything with a card in grave, you just take it and special summon it and make their effect fizzle. Is pretty good in that regard as well. So I like the versatility on this card. I think this card actually has a chance to see play, in a cool way. And the other card here we have is Moon of the Closed Heaven. This is the biggest card that we're talking about today, but I want to get the smaller ones out of the way first. When we got the Fiendsmith engine revealed, it seemed like a cool little generic engine, and then when people started digging in deeper, we realized that this card, or just any good generic light fiends, were really going to be the cards that connect that engine in a meaningful way. Because otherwise, the engine's not that big, right? Normally the engine is like 3 Fiendsmith Engraver, 1 copy of Tractus, 1 copy of the Fabled Lurry. That's basically it, a 5-card engine, but you don't want to hard draw Lurry that much, or Tractus really. You kind of just want to draw, like they're fine. They're not like absolute terrible draws, but you'd rather be drawing Engraver. That being said, that's just 1/3 of, as it's supposed to be a new generic engine. But the key is if you can just make, like this is a generic Link 2, just any 2 effect monsters go into it, just making this card basically turns on your entire Fiendsmith engine as well. So this is the connective tissue for a lot of decks. We were really unsure of when we were going to get this card. We thought we might get it in Battles of Legend. That was not the case. And so then when that was like kind of confirmed, we sat back and we said, well, I guess this really needs to be an Infinite Forbidden. Otherwise, the Fiendsmith engine is not going to be nearly as cohesive as we know it can be until this card actually is confirmed coming to the TCG. So it is confirmed here. This will 100%, in my opinion, probably be a secret rare and be one of the chase cards of the set. This is definitely a card that, like, out the gate you need to have on your bingo list of cards to go after. If you think that engine is cool. And even generically, this card is also interesting. So, like, I know I'm kind of just talking about this card just as this being the only completely generic Light Fiend Link monster in the game. So that way, you know, any deck that just puts bodies on the field can connect to Fiendsmith. Its effect is not dead either. Now, most of the time, you're just going to be making this card and then linking up into, or linking down into the Fiendsmith Link 1. But you also could just summon this card and use its actual effect, which isn't the worst thing in the world. So this card says, like, you can target an opponent's monster. I know it's kind of blurry on here, that it points to, but since it's like up and right diagonal up, then you can go, like, if you summon it in either EMZ, you basically can target 4 out of 5 columns in your opponent's field. So if you link, and then it says, target one monster this card points to. If you would link summon a link 5 or higher monster using cards you control, you can also use the monster you targeted as well. So combining, basically the idea is if you combine this with Underworld Goddess, you can basically only need 3 link materials on your field, potentially even 1, depending. And you're able to use 1, the free material you get to use for Underworld Goddess, and now 2, an additional monster that you target with this card. So you're able to take 2 monsters from your opponent's field with this, and it just takes away some of the cost of basically having to make Underworld Goddess. So you're ripping 2 off their field while still making Graveyard Disruption, Big Beater, yada, yada, yada. So it does actually have some utility there. I don't know if that's going to come up too often. I'm going to imagine most people would play this card just because of the Fiendsmith synergy. But it is worth noting that if you're going to play it like that anyway, you may just already find Underworld Goddess in your deck list anyway when you play this card for the Fiendsmith engine. That actually could just come up where that's just the better use of that card in that situation. So very, very cool to note. We're still right around the corner for Infinite Forbidden, like, TCG reveals anyway. So I think I don't know if we have confirmed dates, but I'm pretty sure next week is when the content creators are going to be doing their run through of the cards. So all next week we'll probably be getting our reveals that are going to be telling us exactly what's in the set on the TCG side. So the rest of the imports, even though this does, I believe, give us 3 of the imports, there should be still 17 other cards. New TCG exclusive archetype, other TCG exclusive random cards, and some OCG imports. Hopefully there's some other good ones in there as well. But yeah, that's everything we have for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, let me know your thoughts down below. Are you excited about these 2 imports, or are you more scared than anything? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. I kind of fall in the middle. I have some decks that I've kind of been toying around with the idea of prior to Infinite Forbidden, going like, oh yeah, the Fiendsmith engine really works really well here. But also I'm like, but is that worth having to play Fiendsmith on like a mass level where like everybody's playing it? It's really, really scary that way. We'll have to see. But I'm out of here for today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, guys, subscribe to the channel for way more stuff from me down the line. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.